So we open ned8 on presumably not too long after the events of Area 3, as Varys has conceded to tell Robert about the news that Dany is pregnant, and Robert is enraged by this and wants her dead before she sires any children. Jorah has been revealed to be the one who is communicating with Varys, and Varys confirms that his word is true, as he would not dare lie to Varys. Now it is interesting here, as Varys is clearly part of Illyrio's plot to send Dany to Vaes Dothrak, so why are they giving her up now unless they know, as we saw in the previous chapter, that their plans are not yet ready and the war coming too soon will put a banner in that, and so they have no choice but to give up Dany as part of their plots in order to keep their full plots hidden. So they are changing tactics, and Dany is now no longer of any use to them. Now Ned understandably is against Robert killing Dany, as she is only 14 years old and pregnant, and Selmy sides with Ned on this, as he himself was at the mercy of Robert during the rebellion, and when Roose Bolton on the Trident told him to cut Selmy's throat, Robert chose to spare him. It is also noted during the meeting that Dany supposedly is just nearing Vaes Dothrak at this point. However, given that the news has to travel back from when they were approaching Vaes Dothrak, it takes several months for the caravan to travel the news back and forward. So Dany is already in Vaes Dothrak and has been there for some time, as it takes time for messages to arrive. While discussing how best to get rid of Dany, Varys is the one to bring up that perhaps in order to prevent Drogo becoming enraged and seeking vengeance, they should use the Tears of Leith to assassinate her, which causes Pycelle to very quickly stir and look at Varys suspiciously, given the current incidents that are unwinding in the court surrounding the use of the Tears of Leith on Jon Arryn. Now Pycelle is the one who brings up using the Faceless Men in order to assassinate her, and this is our first introduction to these Faceless Men who come from Braavos, and it is revealed by Baelish that they are extremely costly, which implies that he has inquired already about the price of using them, and also we find that it is possible to hire whole armies for less than what it is to hire a faceless man, according to Baelish here. Now we also get the interesting point here that we know that Yoren told Ned about Tyrion. Now why would he do this? Because the Night's Watch are sworn not to interfere in the politics of the realm, and yet we find that Yoren has very clearly came and told Ned about this before anybody else knows, in order to give him leverage, as well as potentially going to Varys first. So it appears that Varys directed him to go to Ned in order to get ahead of Cersei. As we see during the meeting, Cersei knows everything that's going on because she has Pycelle, and also Boris Blount is outside on guard, and he is one of her Kingsguard spies, and it is clear someone has been influencing Ned to get out of there because they know he is in danger. As he notes, he has been having dreams of snow and the quiet of the Wolfswood at night, making him miss his family and long to return and make new sons with Catelyn. And so he decides that his best course of action is to take a ship so he can meet with Stannis on the way while getting his family out of harm's way. However, we find at this point that presumably if it is Varys who is the one who wants him to get out, the opposition, Baelish, wants him to stay and start the war. And we find that as Ned is preparing to get ready to leave, Baelish turns up at his chambers in order to convince him to stay, as Baelish mocks him, saying that he is a fool and has rotten ice beneath him which will begin to crack, and then offers to take him to show him what he has been searching for, showing us again that Baelish is orchestrating this whole thing. He has been withholding the information and feeding Ned crumbs, leading him on a string, and so this keeps Ned in King's Landing long enough for the events of the following chapter to take place.